MEPs on the Civil Liberties Committee proposed an overhaul this week of the so-called Dublin rules on asylum, which say the country a refugee arrives in is the country tasked with their asylum request. They want a central system for requests, including member state quotas. It passed by 44 votes to 11.
It is natural that the Dublin regulation has very negative connotations because what it places is a disproportionate burden on member states that are at the periphery.
As an EU summit on migration began in Brussels on Thursday, Martin Schulz, President of the Parliament, met with King Abdullah II of Jordan and the Cypriot President, Nikos Anastasiades. Meanwhile, MEPs harnessed social media to reach out to citizens on the crisis. French MEPs Jean Arthuis and Sylvie Guillaume led a 45-minute live Facebook chat and after reported lively, challenging and connecting exchanges. The European Commission has gun controls in its sights, demanding stricter controls over museums and collectors and on buying firearms online. The idea is to limit terrorists' ability to rebuild and shift weapons across borders. At a public hearing held by the Internal Market Committee, leading experts were wary. MEPs want a better balance between the fight against terrorism and the rights of those with a legitimate case to hold firearms. Big-hitting multinationals IKEA, McDonald's, Google and Apple were called by the Special Committee on Tax Rulings for their stance on new proposals on corporate tax, designed to close loopholes and arrangements that allow companies to slash their tax liabilities. Scarcely surprising that their representatives weren't keen on several key elements, like country-by-country reporting of profits, taxes and subsidies, and making them public.
Google and Apple tried to give a wrong impression about their tax behavior.
On Wednesday, MEPs on the Employment Committee supported calls for a rewrite of legislation on parental leave that goes back to 1996 that they consider out of sync with today's economic and social climate. This is a parliamentary initiative which the Commission doesn't have to follow, but it's supported by several major union and social organisations.